As the sun began to set over the horizon, Gayam and Jolie sat together under the shade of a large oak tree in the Nasa family garden. They were reminiscing about their beloved grandfather, Bayank, who had passed away not too long ago. "He was such a wise and compassionate man," Gayam said, her voice tinged with sadness. "I miss his stories and the way he made us feel safe." Jolie nodded, a gentle smile crossing his lips. "Indeed, he was a pillar of strength for our family," he replied, looking up at the sky as if seeking guidance from the stars. "I wish he was still here to guide us on our journey as the Pharaoh's protectors." As they spoke of their cherished memories, a soft breeze brushed against Gayam's cheek, carrying with it the scent of desert sand and ancient knowledge. A mysterious figure appeared before them, shrouded in a cloak of twilight hues. It was Anubis, the god of the afterlife, his presence emanating both wisdom and compassion. "Greetings, Gayam," Anubis spoke, his voice as gentle as the whisper of the wind. "I am Anubis, the guardian of the afterlife, the guide to the realm beyond. Your grandfather, Bayank, was a revered soul, and you and your family have been chosen as guardians of my divine realm." Gayam's heart skipped a beat as she felt the divine presence of Anubis. She had heard tales of the gods of Egypt, but to encounter one was a humbling and awe-inspiring experience. "I understand your sorrow, Gayam," Anubis continued, "but know that your grandfather's spirit is not lost to you. He walks beside you, guiding and protecting, for the bond of family transcends the realms of the living and the dead." A tear glistened in Gayam's eye, and she felt a sense of comfort wash over her. The divine words of Anubis touched her heart, reminding her that her grandfather's spirit lived on in the love and memories they shared. "You and your family embody the values of justice and protection," Anubis spoke, turning his gaze to Jolie. "With the divine power of storytelling and the wisdom of your ancestors, you shall carry on the legacy of your grandfather and continue to protect the people of Egypt." Jolie nodded, feeling a surge of determination within him. He knew that Bayank's wisdom would forever guide him in his role as a protector, just as Anubis guided souls to the afterlife. "As the guardian of the afterlife," Anubis continued, "I shall bestow upon you, Gayam, the power to connect with the spirits of the departed and offer them comfort and guidance on their journey beyond. Your empathy and compassion make you a fitting vessel for this sacred task." Gayam's heart swelled with a mix of emotions, honor, awe, and a sense of responsibility. She had always felt a deep connection to her ancestors and the stories they carried, and now she realized that this connection was a divine gift from Anubis himself. Embracing her new role, Gayam felt a newfound sense of purpose. She knew that she would carry on her grandfather's legacy by not only protecting the living, but also guiding and honoring the souls of the departed. From that moment on, Gayam and Jolie knew that they had been chosen for a sacred purpose. As the Pharaoh's protectors, they would safeguard Egypt and its people in both the realms of the living and the afterlife. As they continued their adventures, they knew that their grandfather Bayank's spirit would walk with them, and Anubis's divine guidance would be their beacon in the darkness. The Nasa family, united by the power of their divine gifts, continued their journey with the spirits of their ancestors and the protection of the gods, forever bound by love and the legacy of their shared adventures as the Pharaoh's protectors. The Nasa family faced a crucial decision that would determine the fate of their village, choosing the most sustainable water source to ensure the well-being of the community. The responsibility weighed heavily on Osun, the father of the family and the village leader. The water sources had been drying up due to the changing climate, and they needed a solution that would sustain their village for generations to come. One evening, as the family gathered around the fireplace, contemplating the gravity of the situation, Gaiam felt an unexplainable urge to seek solace in her grandfather's study. The room was adorned with ancient scrolls, paintings, and artifacts, and the scent of aged paper filled the air. As Gaiam stepped into the study, she felt a comforting presence surrounding her, as if her grandfather's spirit enveloped her in a warm embrace. She closed her eyes, allowing herself to connect with the memories of her beloved grandfather. In the depths of her mind, memories of Beyank's stories and teachings resurfaced, each one holding a valuable lesson on balance, unity, and sustainability. In those moments, Gaiam felt as though she could hear her grandfather's voice, guiding her towards the answers she sought. Feeling her grandfather's presence, Gaiam decided to perform a small ritual, one she remembered from Beyank's tales about ancient practices of connecting with ancestors. She lit a candle, its flickering flame representing the eternal nature of the soul, and placed a bowl of water before it, symbolizing the life-giving force that the village desperately needed. As she meditated on the flickering flame, she called upon her grandfather's spirit, seeking guidance and wisdom in the face of their dilemma. In that sacred moment, Gaiam felt an overwhelming sense of reassurance, as though her grandfather's spirit was guiding her towards a path of understanding. With each breath, her mind journeyed back to the moments she had spent with her grandfather, listening to his stories, absorbing his wisdom, and feeling the warmth of his love. The memories became vivid and alive, surrounding her like a protective cocoon. In her mind's eye, she visualized a radiant figure standing before her, a manifestation of Beyank's spirit. His eyes sparkled with kindness and wisdom, and a gentle smile graced his lips. Though she could not touch him physically, she felt an overwhelming sense of his presence, as if he was right beside her. "Gaiam, my dear," her grandfather's voice echoed in her thoughts. "I am with you always, guiding you through life's challenges. You carry the light of our ancestors within you, and it will guide you to the answers you seek." Tears welled in Gaiam's eyes as she felt her grandfather's love enveloping her. "Grandfather," she whispered, "we face a difficult decision about the water sources for our village. We want to do what's best, but the options seem overwhelming." Beyank's spirit smiled gently, and he placed a comforting hand on Gaiam's shoulder, though she could only feel the warmth of his presence. "My dear Gaiam, remember that the balance of nature is sacred. Seek a path that honors both the needs of our village and the delicate ecosystem that sustains us." Encouraged by his words, Gaiam asked, "But how can we be sure which option is the right one, grandfather?" "The answers lie not in certainty, but in harmony," Beyank replied. "Consider the impact of each choice on the land, the creatures that depend on it, and the generations to come. Look beyond immediate gains and find a solution that nurtures and sustains." Gaiam felt a sense of clarity washing over her. Her grandfather's wisdom resonated deep within her heart, reminding her of the importance of seeking balance and harmony in all decisions. As the ritual concluded, Gaiam opened her eyes, feeling an overwhelming sense of peace and clarity. She knew that her grandfather's guidance would be the compass that would steer her family towards the right decision. With a sense of clarity, she returned to the family, her heart filled with the profound connection she had experienced. She explained to her father, Ozan, the ritual she had performed, and the memories she had shared with her grandfather in the study. She expressed how she felt that Beyank's wisdom was still alive within them, ready to offer guidance in their time of need. Ozan listened attentively, his heart touched by his daughter's profound connection with her grandfather's spirit. He too had fond memories of Beyank and felt a renewed sense of hope as Gaiam shared her experience. Together, they decided to explore the potential water sources once more, this time seeking a balanced approach that honored the ancient knowledge passed down by their ancestors. Gaiam's connection with her grandfather's spirit had ignited a new sense of purpose and direction in the decision-making process. As they evaluated the options, they considered not just immediate results, but also the long-term sustainability of each source. They sought solutions that would honor the balance between nature and human needs, a reflection of Bayang's teachings on harmony. In the end, they chose a water source that allowed the village to thrive while also preserving the delicate ecosystem surrounding it. This decision proved to be a turning point for the village, as they found a renewed sense of balance and unity with the land they called home. Gayam's connection with her grandfather's spirit became a cherished tradition for the Nasta family. In times of difficulty or important decisions, they sought solace in Bayang's wisdom and found comfort in the knowledge that he was still with them in spirit, guiding them on their journey as the Pharaoh's protectors. From that day forth, Gayam's gift of connecting with the spirits of the departed became an invaluable asset to the Nasta family. Guided by the teachings of her grandfather and the divine essence of Anubis, she continued to offer counsel and guidance to her family and her village, ensuring that the legacy of her ancestors and the divine protectors of Egypt would live on in their hearts and actions